The Chinese government made a bombshell announcement on February 25th. They said that China will abolish a constitutional clause that limits presidential service to just 2 5-year terms. Under the old rules, a president could only be in power for a total of 10 years. So President Xi Jinping, who came into power in 2013, would have had to leave office in 2023. But the abolishment of this clause means that President Xi will be able to stay in office for as long as he would like to. The proposal still has to be endorsed by the National People's Congress in early March, but this is essentially a rubber stamp parliament, so there's very little reason to believe that they would not sign off on the measure. So this development really positioned Xi Jinping to lead China as an authoritarian ruler in the tradition of Mao Zedong. Mao's ruthless leadership had no term limits, and it was responsible for the death of millions of Chinese people. So President Xi's abolishment of term limits should be really alarming to the people of China. But his power grab also has major implications for the people outside of China and for the international order. Under Mao Zedong, China was a military lightweight, so his ruthlessness rarely spilled over China's borders in a significant way. But in the last decade or so, China has become a formidable military power. And even before this constitutional revision, we've seen President Xi leading China on a path of international belligerence, grabbing territories from some of its neighbors and working to control global commons. So now that he is positioned to essentially be China's emperor for life, we can expect China to become even more aggressive on the international stage. The trumpet carefully watches Xi Jinping's tightening grip on power because Bible prophecy indicates that as American influence and power declines, 2 rival power blocks will emerge to take its place. One is a European entity operating in the tradition of the Holy Roman Empire, and the other is an Asian bloc called in Scripture the Kings of the East. Prophecy makes plain that this Kings of the East Asian power bloc will be led by Russia, but that it will have China in kind of a secondary position of leadership. The Bible makes plain in such chapters as Daniel 11 and Revelation 16 that a clash between this European power and this Asiatic power bloc will result in the most violent conflict in mankind's history. Xi Jinping's ongoing strides toward further boosting his personal control over China's military and its foreign policy are vital to watch because they provide an indication of how the Chinese president could fall in line with his fellow strongman in Russia, Vladimir Putin. They also show how China could be brought onto its prophesied collision course with Europe. China's abolishment of presidential term limits also indicate just how near this biblically prophesied collision could be. To understand more about China's role in Bible prophecy and how Xi Jinping's China will become an ally to Putin's Russia, please order a copy of our free booklet, Russia and China in Prophecy.